Call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock, 1800 for the military folk. And I'll entertain a
Motion to accept the minutes of the October meeting.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number two is crickets.
Crickets.
Oh,
Old business. Before and after school update. Why can't you say?
I'm a
We're
little-
almost there.
I'm a little dry now. The wood cap crickets. Yeah, I was gonna miss that thing.
Where we at?
Before and after school. Just real quick, we were officially renewed by the state for Liberty, so we are good to go for them for the next 2 years,
Awesome.
which is great. You know, again, if anybody needs daycare with the way the scenarios broke down this year, we do have space available, so give us a call and we can get you in. And so we'll do the Merrill one in April for their renewal, so after that we'll be good for a good 2 years before we have to dive back in there again. And the other thing we have going is the Forge River Parkway basketball court. Just a reminder with the issue we had where we were contacted that the town back in 2005 actually voted to accept that as for Park and Rec to take it over, but we never got the deed. I spoke to the town, they're working on the deed to get it for us, and then we can start talking to the community, have a letter, and discuss what they'd be interested in, what we'd be interested in doing, and going forward from there.
All right. That it?
And that's it on the old business.
Did we ever find, is the Forge River Parkway, is it being used at all, or?
They do use it in the neighborhood from time to time,
Yeah.
but there's almost like a burnt spot in the asphalt in the middle, it looks like. So I'm not sure if that really affects, if they try to play a game there.
Yeah.
But one side hoop is definitely off, the one closest to where the neighborhood is, but the one against the tree line, that's the one they shoot at the most. They actually spray painted some lines in, so they do play from time to time. But it's a huge neighborhood. I didn't realize how big it was. So
Yeah,
back
cluster
there.
development.
Yeah.
All right. On the field permits.
We don't have any new permits, but I took a look at all of our fees going forward, and I am recommending an increase for the field use fees. It's been a while since we have increased, and the cost to maintain the fields and take care of the fields has gone up. So my recommendation would be to go to $600 for a seasonal permit, and if people are just doing hourly, $35 an hour from $30.
525.
It was $5.50, and then the hourly was $30. So just a little increase, just because the cost of everything else has gone up on us.
Why are we charging hourly for organized youth and organized adult rating at 501c3? Well, this should be rated too, right?
Yes, they should. Those are actually already always been in there, so I can take that out.
Yeah,
Change
geez,
that.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have just been a typo.
Is that adjustment?
Did the light fee go up too?
I did increase the light fee just to 35. Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept Tim's recommendation on fee increases.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Did they even use the airplane?
No.
They haven't used the airplane. It's still there. It's been even before I started. I mean, but we still do have it designated as the airplane field.
Yeah.
But the group, I guess, was out of East Bridgewater, from what I understand, and they went somewhere else. I did get one, I got one inquiry summer of 19, but they never came back to us with a permit.
I wonder what we could use for that space. I know we, what?
Recreation.
Right, I know we had, like, kind of looked at it for the dog park, but
It's low.
It
it's
is
too
low.
low. And
But, you know, one thing that I think would be great out there is we turn that into a flag football field.
Yeah,
You know, for, you know, so we keep them off the soccer fields, we'll have a little bit more room, and that would be their own designated area. And they can come.
We can designate it a multi-purpose field.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for like youth and.
Yeah,
youth
there's a
and
storage
everything.
area there, right? It can be secured.
We had to put something else in, the old shed was falling down, so we did have to take it.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it big enough?
Yeah, it was a liability.
Okay.
But we could definitely, I think that'd be nice for them, so they have their own designated area, or any other kind of sports that want to.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be.
You know,
Let's think about
field
that moving
hockey,
into the future.
anything.
And the other thing that's big now is frisbee golf.
Yeah,
You know, it's out there.
Yeah.
Or
frisbee football.
frisbee football, yes, thank you, excuse me. And, which I think would be great. You know, and, you know, speaking of disc golf, that's something that we could also look at in the Grove, in this area over here, if we decided to look at other activities for what we call it as well.
Anything, nothing else in new business, right? So,
Nope.
commissioner reports, Chris, do you have anything to report?
No, the office looks nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do like that.
Just improvement upon
Thank you.
improvement. When Tim came in, he did a good job cleaning, getting organized in there, and
We're
the other
trying.
space
Yeah,
looks
it's amazing how
much
clean the office
better.
is.
We're trying.
Like the, when I go and sign the warrants once a year, really clean.
Your mailbox is full,
No,
by
I
the way.
clean, I sign way more than you.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, I do.
All right, we're gonna keep track.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, before we had to have all three signatures, or
Yeah.
2 out of 3. something.
2 out of 3,
Yeah.
2 out of 3.
It used to be 3 out of 3 when my father was on.
Yeah, yeah.
It's to be, you know? We used to make, when you first got me involved in this,
Yeah.
we used to make it like a little ritual.
Yeah, like a date
Yeah.
every week.
Anything else?
Other than that, no, I didn't know if we want to talk about that last email.
Yeah, that was, I wasn't sure if you wanted to bring that up or you wanted me
We
to
can
do
bring
my
it,
report.
yeah, your report could be
Yeah.
appropriate, yeah,
Okay.
of course, yeah.
Yep.
Other
Yeah,
than-
I didn't have anything, I had nothing to report. And, Josh? Oh, it's not good.
Josh. Josh?
All right, so staff reports?
Sammy, what do you got?
Sammy?
I have one, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Good job.
So I had to create a Facebook page for the Park and Rec group, attached to her, so it's like our own private page we can invite people to, and it's not public, so that we approve everyone who goes in it. We're starting to promote it more. She sent out an email blast so that we can stay in contact on top of the depth of communication we already have. And we're also briefly talking about hosting online events, which I'm so excited for.
What is the approval process?
For what?
You said they have to be approved to be on it?
Oh, it just goes through us, so it's a
Yeah.
private thing, we can like administer everything. So we basically have to just say yes or no,
Right.
and then they get like,
Alright.
so the public can't see it, so it's open to just parents and members who are already looking at it.
Oh, enrolled in before and after?
Yeah, typically, so everyone who is on the email blast in the site who's enrolled gets the email that Heather sent about it, and then everybody who's been working it has been a part, like, of the website.
So the administrators are Heather and you? and-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, and we're planning to host some events over break if we're not able to have public programs out there for vacation, so we're gonna see how that goes.
Great.
Awesome.
We
That's
got $50 today.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
just sent through
exciting.
the email blast, so I'm hoping parents will pay attention to it.
Power of social media.
Yeah, it'll help a little bit.
Oh, I can't stand it. Stop.
I'm right there with you.
I know, yeah.
I wish I didn't have it.
That's why I have them, that's
I
why
don't
I
have any. no.
Sandy taking care of that.
I know, the only social media I know how to do is Facebook, and I'm really not good at that,
Yeah,
like Twitter.
yeah,
You could tutor me on that.
yeah, I'll do it.
I don't know how to tutor.
I went on that new TikTok thing. That's like addicting. Once you start, you can't stop.
So far, I won't start. I would be.
Good idea. I get on it, and next thing I know, it's an hour later. I've lost an hour of my life.
I've actually never even had Facebook in my life. I got too much else going on to worry about that, so.
You do learn a lot. You
Yeah.
know, there's a lot of information out there, obituaries and stuff like that. As you get older, those are important. You want to know who's dying.
Tim, what do you got?
All
That's
right.
great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're moving into the
Good
what
job.
century are we in? 21st.
The building's in the 19th though. Well, first things first, we did receive an email yesterday about from a person in town asking about the dog park. And they recommended Reed Field itself, not just the area that we toured about a year and a half ago. You know, and she mentioned in there that, you know, we'd have to clear out the stone dust and put grass on it. That would be the first problem we would have. Because with dog urine, things like that, or if it rained, we'd really tear it up and it'd be a mud pit. Location-wise, it does have parking. It does have the storage shed there, so we can be able to put things in, the old concrete building that's down there. Plenty of room. We would have to, if we decided to go in that direction, we would have to put a fence down the middle and create some sort of entry like we talked about, where we have a large side, dog side, small side, excuse me, and as well, you know, doing the scanner so we keep it to, you know, security purposes in town. Some of the negatives, though, that looking through it, one, the fence is only 4 foot high, and dogs can easily get over that with no problem. We talked about when we had our meeting with the selectmen a year and a half ago, we're going at minimum of 5. So that's something we'd have to look at, because basically the fence there would be no good to us either, because we really want to raise that up for safety purposes. The other issue is, what are we going to use for a base? You know, we're going to scrape all that grass out and go to wood chips, which I'm just not a big fan of for a dog park, or go to that pea stone we talked about, which I'm in favor of. So we have to wash that down every night. We have to bring irrigation to the field because we don't have irrigation there.
No?
No, but water is on the road.
Yeah.
So that would make life a little bit easier considering how close the field actually is to the road. It's really not, we're not going that far in. So, and the other question we need to ask ourselves is, if that's a site we want to look at, do we want to get rid of a ball field that's been there for a long time? It does give us the options, and we do have groups that have used that field, especially the Sunday morning softball league, for a long time. So we may get some pushback there.
Kind of relying on that.
They do.
Well, would we be able to still accommodate them?
We would. We still have the Clark field up here, and we do have RMS, the softball field up there. They're one thing, and they did play there this year because they did a more of a truncated, compressed schedule because they were using 3 fields. But their one issue is they like to play with a fence.
We want to hit home run.
Yes, so
Temporary place.
that would be something that we would have to look at.
Yeah. Your dad doesn't like temporary fences.
What?
The dog park itself, though, I thought we were talking about, like the, I'm trying to remember that. I thought, remember we had a couple plans?
We did. We talked about.
And there was like a sponsor, or not a sponsor.
Oh,
but-
it's the Stanton Foundation.
Yeah.
That'd be for the grant. So basically, you know, I'd have to talk to them about if we already have an existing fence in there, can we expand on that? you know, and figure out a way to possibly raise it up, do some other things, because they cover up to 90% of the actual building of the dog park. So, and they only gave away 2 in 2019, and we usually look for 10 per year. So that is something we can definitely look at. I mean, the land is there, the fence is there. One thing that I will say again as a positive, if we have that structure there, so we can store things inside the dog park. You know, I mean, we'd have to go through another butters meeting with that neighborhood to go through it. But there are positives, there are negatives. We have to realize if we go in that direction, you know, again, we're gonna move some groups. We also have some AU teams that play there as well. But we have enough baseball fields that we should be able to help them all if they
Yeah, and I mean, I think if we can still, at least my opinion is if we can still accommodate, you know, all the leagues with fields to play, and you know, we can always look, you know, down the road, add fencing or whatever, that this would, I mean, there's only so much land, and, you know, I think there is a need for a dog park. I think there's a lot of people that would like to see a dog park.
I was actually over there today, and I had a gentleman on the field that I had to speak to him today.
Yeah.
You know, and he was out there, you know, it's a fenced-in area, and playing with the dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, you know.
I see it all the time.
I see Chris down this all the time with that thing. I'm always yelling at him, and then I realize it's Chris.
And you follow me in with your 2 puppies.
And, you know, so it's something that we can definitely talk. I mean, I think, you know, we can look at it. I could always meet with the individual that did send me an email, and I know she was also willing to help fundraise as well, as you put it.
Let me give you my thoughts.
Sure.
First of all, Elizabeth Dermody.
Yes.
I've known for quite some time.
Okay.
I'm very familiar with her. And if we move forward and if she's committed to it, I think she'd be a great point person for that community group that's going to be kind of required to look after it or, you know, help us maintain that area to some degree. Fundraising, great. She was very good at fundraising when I worked with her in youth sports with the Giants. Yeah. Super enthusiastic. You know, when she puts her mind to something, she's going to follow through. So I think it's great that she reached out. I think as far as the property goes, number one, before we even spend precious time, get that letter out to the community, have a meeting. And until we do that, there's no sense of even talking about it. If we get a big pushback on the dog park from that community, then we're going to have to rethink that. Third, for me, I would like to keep the field and add the dog park. There's plenty of land for it to be done. If we can get the Stanton Foundation money, then I think that would be option number one. There's no reason why the two can't exist at the same time. I think, in my opinion, looking at bare land, you know.
Just trying to envision the park in there.
The land goes all the way out to the back of the other street. You got to keep that one spot by the cemetery available for maintenance stuff, right? But that goes way out there. So the parking is good. I think is good.
Especially when you picture center field, you know, that entire line of trees, and that's at least more higher than to the other side facing to the right, because that's lowland, so we have to bring a lot of filling over there.
Yeah.
More, you know, to center field, left field, there is an area there.
So those are my top 3 things. First thoughts about it is great point person in the community that's required for the foundation. Number 2, we've got to get the money to do anything to begin with. And number three, actually, number one would be getting that community meeting, neighborhood meeting. And then Elizabeth, AKA Diddy, and then get that one.
Sure. Sounds good.
That would be my, before we talk about anything else, irrigation,
Yeah.
whether we're keeping the field or not and all that, let's get that, those are, the first one, the abutters, is a big hurdle.
Yes.
Yeah, and we already know that we had one abutter that was interested in your initial posting.
Yeah.
But, same abutter might be happy with, I don't know, with getting rid of one thing and bringing in another.
Very true.
So.
That's why I vote for him every time he's up for reelection.
You're one of
He's really smart.
One of three. It's you, my wife, and Heather.
You're up next year.
Am I?
Yeah.
Next year?
Yes, sir.
I'll vote for you. Twice, actually. I'm gonna send one in, mail it, and then I'm gonna go and do it, just like I did today.
Yeah.
I voted twice today.
I want.
I did not. You guys, the audience knows I'm joking.
I was really thinking of going down to IMS and going, James Brown, 110 Irish Drive.
To test it. To test it, yeah. I would do the
There
same
you
thing.
go.
Everything's
I don't
computerized
understand
now.
why they don't pass by ID.
We're one of the states that doesn't require
I
it.
don't understand.
Really?
that.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's been
I
it's been
never
an argument for
understood
years.
that.
You should have to provide a social, to have the last four of your social, too.
Yeah.
Are you a citizen?
Valid.
So anyways, that was good, good conversation. And again, an exciting topic with some new legs to it. Let's see what we can do.
Figured, we'll get some information. Do you want to, if we can do a meeting, do you want to do it before the holidays or just wait till after the holidays to get that?
Probably, yeah.
After.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're in November, right?
Yes, sir. Okay, take care of that. Just a couple other minor things. Tony Reuter has been plowing. He's already done he's done his 10 acres. He's going to do a little bit more, bring the brush hog in, put up some trenches out there to get things going. So that's good news there. I met with TMLP last week. Some of the windstorms, they knocked down some lights and put them in different areas. They're going to come fix those up for us.
They're great.
Yeah, they do a wonderful job. And also during the storm last week, we had a leak inside the soccer concession stand.
Roof?
Yeah, it was coming through the flashing, but it was leaking directly on the electrical panel
Oh,
and the
wow.
outlet.
That's
So it was a great catch by Norm. He was in there shutting off the irrigation. We caught it, so we turned off the power, and I had Taunton side come over to fix the flashing. We'll get that all taken care of. And, I did have some emails with Mr. Monty today. We have our annual meeting at some point. I just got to hear from the rest of the group. But with the new regulations, I don't know if we can get together or we have to make it a Zoom meeting. But, whatever people want to do, we can.
Yeah, let's wait until
Yeah, I mean,
Friday to make that decision.
we're trending the other way now, so.
Yeah. Before, it's not never ending story right now. And town meeting. I know I've told you guys we've had a couple of different dates. Date is now set for the Saturday morning, November 21st, at 10 a.m.
Oh, I'm not gonna
But
be here.
it's all those articles we've discussed in the past. Those are not on this warrant. This is just a few financial things to get through. So those other articles we talked about that didn't happen at the Springtown meeting
Yeah.
are not on this article.
Okay.
The warrant. So
Yeah, 'cause I
I
won't be here.
will be here. I'll be there, and just make sure they have any questions for us. But it'll be a quick 6, 7, 8 articles, and then we're out of there. So I will be there.
First,
Yeah,
and the
good
middle
way.
school.
Yeah, outside what I hear. On the water.
Smash myself. Town meeting outside November 1st. I hope
And besides that, that's all that's going on. Hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll go from there.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Likewise, it's something I would like for Dave.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, you didn't hear Thanksgiving's canceled too?
Oh, no.
Canceled, yeah.
Pretty close.
You can just have your Donnie on the side there. You host it?
Having it at 10 o'clock,
Can't have more than 5 people. COVID police will come at you.
All right.
That is it for me.
Motion to
Adjourn.
adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Aye. 6:26.